Something massive may be unfolding right now inside Iraq's financial system, and it could be the turning point many investors have been waiting for. But before you jump to conclusions about a dinar revaluation, let's uncover what's really happening behind the scenes and what this so-called final operational phase truly means. Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News today, where we bring you verified updates, real economic analysis, and grounded insight into Iraq's evolving financial landscape. Today's report dives deep into new discussions coming out of Baghdad and global financial circles. Discussions suggesting that Iraq's long-awaited monetary restructuring could be entering a critical new stage. You've probably seen the headlines and heard the chatter across Telegram groups, online forums, and currency blogs. Some are calling it the final operational phase of Iraq's monetary strategy. But what exactly does that mean? And does it really signal that a currency revaluation is imminent? Let's unpack it step by step. The meaning behind the final operational phase across multiple economic reports, financial observers, and insider channels. Analysts are using the phrase final operational phase to describe Iraq's current monetary posture. Now, let's make this clear from the start. This doesn't mean a public revaluation has already taken place. There's no new global rate live on the Forex screens, and the Central Bank of Iraq hasn't announced any new public exchange value for the dinar. Instead, this phrase points to something much more technical, a stage of internal readiness. In other words, Iraq's monetary system, budget, and digital payment infrastructure are reportedly aligned and synchronized for the next stage of reform. This includes finalizing budget audits, testing digital banking platforms, and completing data reconciliations between the Central Bank of Iraq, the International Monetary Fund, and technical advisors from the U.S. Treasury. Analysts often refer to this as the technical revaluation phase, not a revaluation in the public market, but an internal calibration period where all systems must prove operational stability before any real-world rate adjustment can occur. This is the foundation, the bedrock that has to be set in place before any public move can stand. The handshake moment, and what it signifies within private discussions and internal documentation, a term has been used repeatedly: the handshake moment. This refers to the synchronization point where Iraq's internal systems fully align with global financial standards. Think of it as the moment when Iraq's financial software finally shakes hands with the world's banking hardware. Once this handshake is complete, Iraq's domestic banking and digital payment infrastructure would be interoperable with international clearing systems like SWIFT, IBAN, and ISO 20022. The same global standard that enables modern cross-border payments. This is why so many observers are calling this moment significant. It's not speculation, it's technical progress. The 2025-2026 budget. A turning point now, let's talk about one of the biggest confirmations of Iraq's readiness. The ratified 2025-2026 national budget, recently published in the official government gazette. This new budget, reportedly valued at over 70 trillion dinars, is more than just a financial document. It's being viewed as a strategic declaration, a statement that Iraq is shifting from a cautious, post-conflict economy into a confident, expansion-driven one. For years, Iraq's budgets were structured conservatively, designed to preserve stability and control inflation. But this new budget marks a dramatic shift. It channels vast new resources into national infrastructure, energy modernization, and technological innovation. The allocation targets sectors like oil, gas, gold mining, agriculture, and digital transformation, all with one common goal: to diversify Iraq's economy and strengthen the dinar's long-term foundation. Economist Dakadal Al-Mahdi put it best in a recent interview. Iraq is moving from survival to strategic growth. This is not just about inflation control anymore, it's about building an economic identity. When you look at this through a macroeconomic lens, the message is clear. Iraq is laying the groundwork for a stronger currency through production, exports, and fiscal confidence. The truth about a confirmed treasury rate now, let's address one of the most viral rumors out there. Claims that the U.S. Treasury has confirmed a final exchange rate for the dinar. That headline has been shared thousands of times, but let's separate fact from fiction. As of now, there's no official confirmation or public release from the U.S. Department of the Treasury regarding any specific new rate for the Iraqi dinar. None. However, what insiders and analysts are referring to is something called an exchange protocol rate. This is not a public spendable rate. Instead, it's an internal technical rate, a kind of test value used during system synchronization. It allows Iraq's banking systems and the U.S. Treasury's settlement systems to run simulations, test cross-border transactions, and prepare for potential future rate changes. Currency researcher Mark Fields, who has been following Iraq's modernization for years, explains it clearly. The U.S. Treasury doesn't decide Iraq's exchange rate, but it does control how international systems recognize and validate it. So these internal test rates simply ensure readiness, not activation. In short, this isn't confirmation of a public revaluation, it's preparation for it. The 18-hour exchange window, another phrase that's been circulating, is the so-called 18-hour exchange window. Many took this as a sign of an imminent redemption event, but credible reports suggest it's simply part of standard system testing. These tests reportedly involve Tier 1 global banks and financial tech networks, simulating how liquidity, settlements, and transaction verifications perform under real-time pressure. The reason the time frame of 18 hours appears so often, it's based on international settlement cycles for ISO 20022 compliant systems, the same protocols used for instant cross-border payments worldwide. So yes, these tests are happening, but no, they don't mean a public revaluation event is currently underway. They're more about making sure the financial rails are safe, fast, and ready, not about flipping a switch overnight. Iraq's strategic economic partnerships, while speculation dominates social media, real progress is happening quietly behind the scenes. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani has been aggressively pursuing new trade and investment agreements throughout 2025, not just with Western powers, but regionally with China, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Many of these deals include partial settlements outside of the US dollar, using local currencies or even hybrid digital payment systems. That's a huge strategic move. It positions Iraq as a regional player capable of conducting business without relying solely on the dollar, a big step toward true monetary independence. And it aligns with Iraq's broader economic reform plan. Diversify income, reduce vulnerability, and strengthen the dinar's relevance across Middle Eastern markets. Iraq's hard asset strength, it's also worth noting the hard numbers behind Iraq's confidence. The country's oil output has reached nearly 4.8 million barrels per day, supported by new exploration projects in Basra and Kirkuk. Meanwhile, Iraq's gold reserves have surged past 145 metric tons, ranking it among the top gold holders in the region. These figures aren't abstract. They form the foundation for any credible currency stabilization or appreciation effort. Oil revenues secure liquidity, while gold reserves provide hard backing for future monetary strengthening. This combination, real production and tangible reserves, is exactly what global investors look for when evaluating the long-term strength of a national currency. The digital dinar revolution at the very center of all this progress is the Central Bank of Iraq, or CBI. In October 2025, the CBI officially launched what it calls the Digital IQD Project, a sweeping modernization initiative connecting Iraq's banking systems to international SWIFT and IBAN standards, under the global ISO 20022 framework. This might sound technical, but its impact is massive. It means Iraq's digital banking infrastructure can now communicate with virtually every other major banking system in the world, securely, quickly, and transparently. As economic analyst Farah Hassan said, "You don't invest in this level of technology unless you anticipate a more active, more valuable currency." This modernization has already transformed life inside Iraq. Government employees now receive salaries electronically instead of in cash. Corruption has declined due to digital tracking, and millions of citizens have been introduced to banking through smart cards and mobile payments. These are not just reforms, they're cultural and financial revolutions. What the experts are saying, so where does all this lead? 3 respected economists offer valuable perspective. 1. Dr. Lelia Roman, a senior researcher at the Middle East Economic Forum, believes Iraq's currency will gradually appreciate as fiscal discipline and production strengthen. 2. Robert Kinn, a former IMF advisor, suggests Iraq could adopt a controlled float system, allowing the dinar to rise incrementally within a managed corridor, possibly reaching parity with the US dollar over several years. 3. Samareji, a strategist at Gulf Capital, frames it differently. She sees Iraq's transformation as an economic rebirth, a long-term evolution from a post-conflict recovery model to a credible investment-grade economy. All three agree on one thing: the trajectory is upward, even if the timeline remains uncertain. Separating fact from hype now, let's be real, in the world of dinar speculation, rumors spread fast. But reliable information is built on verified data. For anyone serious about understanding where Iraq's currency truly stands, here are the most credible sources to watch. The Central Bank of Iraq's official website for actual exchange rate updates. The Iraqi Gazette for legally published government budgets and fiscal laws. IMF and US. Treasury bulletins for hints of coordination or international settlements. And finally, market data platforms like Forex, which reflect real-time reactions to confirmed policy changes. If a new rate appears, it will appear there, not in chat rooms or rumors. The bigger picture. Iraq's economic evolution beyond the numbers. The bigger story here is transformation. Iraq is steadily building credibility, aligning its systems, stabilizing its budget, modernizing its economy, and positioning its currency for a stronger global role. The 70 trillion dinar budget, the new digital banking framework, and the reported handshake synchronization are not random events. They're part of a well-coordinated blueprint for national financial sovereignty. Every system test, every policy alignment, every digital payment rollout is one more step toward integration with the global financial community. Perspective and caution. So, what's the real message for the dinar community today? Patience and perspective. Yes, the signs of progress are real. Iraq's economy is evolving, its digital systems are ready, and its fiscal policies are bolder than ever before. But as with all major reforms, timing is everything. Public revaluations don't happen overnight. They happen after years of groundwork, technical verification, and institutional confidence building, and that's exactly what we're seeing now. This is not the end of the story. It's the next chapter. That's all for today's deep dive update. If you found this analysis helpful and want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Iraqi Dinar News today, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from Iraq's central bank, the IMF, and the region's economic developments. And let us know in the comments, do you believe Iraq is truly in its final phase of monetary reform? Or are we still one stage away? Your insights help shape the conversation, and together, we'll keep tracking Iraq's journey toward economic transformation. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay informed with Iraqi Dinar News today. Disclaimer: the information provided on Iraqi Dinar News today is for educational and informational purposes only. We do not provide financial, investment, or trading advice. All content shared on this channel is based on publicly available data and personal opinions. Viewers are advised to do their own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Iraqi Dinar News today is not affiliated with any government agency, bank, or financial institution.